Hello, my name is Hassan Sorrells, and this is the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast, Shorts. There's no co-host on these Shorts episodes. These are now around 6 to 8 minute long observations, ideas, thoughts, or rants about the literature, philosophy, psychology, and even the theology of leadership. Because listening to me talk about leadership for now around 6 to 8 minutes is still better than reading and trying to understand yet another business book. Even the one that I talked with you about on that lunch club call we had the other day. Without a clearly defined moral core, acts of leadership are fragile, impermanent, and unsatisfying. Without a clearly defined moral core, acts of leadership become self-serving, ego-driven, and focused more on expanding or reinforcing a particular narrative than on much of anything else. Without a clearly defined moral core, acts of leadership become relativistic and focused more on adapting to the present circumstances than standing on eternal principles. Without a clearly defined moral core, acts of leadership aren't really acts of leadership at all, so much as they are acts of performance, driven to appease a crowd of followers and designed to gather claps and approval. Without a clearly defined moral core, acts of leadership fail at the very thing they are designed to do, lead other people to do hard things. So, here's the advice. Leaders, if you don't have the time, the inclination, or the character to explore what your moral core is, then please don't be surprised when your followers won't have the time, the inclination, or the character to follow you when a crisis arises and times get hard. Develop a moral core, develop principles, jettison your opinions, and please, for God's sakes, know the difference between the two. Otherwise, you're not a leader. You're just another cog with a title in the machine of the system you're supposed to be leading in. And well, that's it for me. Listen and subscribe to the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast on all the major podcast players that you listen to podcasts on, including iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and even Spotify. And please leave a 5-star review if you like the show. We need those reviews to grow, and it's the easiest way to make sure that this show gets into the ears of the leaders who need to hear it. And of course, tell all your friends. If you want to get started on the leadership path, HSCT Publishing's products and services can help your team do that. Check out our training webinars, coaching services, and more at leadershiptoolbox.us. We also have a video-based subscription service, that's software as a service, that can help your team become better at the individual level. 60 modules and over 100 hours of video and written content for you at leadingkeys.com. That's leadingkeys.com. We've also got books that will help you and your team grow. Pick up a copy today of My Boss Doesn't Care, 100 essays on disrupting your workplace by disrupting your boss, and subscribe to the Little Red podcast I launched earlier this year with the same name as that Little Red book. My most recent book is 12 Rules for Leaders, the Foundation of Intentional Leadership. Co-written with contributions from Bradley Madigan, this is the book for right now that was written for leaders right now. Pick up a copy by heading over to 12rulesleadersbook.com/now. That's 12rulesleadersbook.com/now. You pay for shipping, and you'll get a copy of my second book as well. Finally, you can get all these books in paperback, hardcover, or as ebooks on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and any other place online you order books. Finally, HSCT Publishing is on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the video version of the Leadership Lessons for the Great Books podcast on the HSCT Publishing channel on YouTube. Just search for HSCT Publishing and hit the subscribe button. You'll get our weekly video updates, which is the video version of this podcast. And, of course, you're going to want to subscribe to my other podcast. That's right, I do more than one. The Hassan Sorrells Presents audio experience, where I talk more casually with a broader range of people about all matters that matter in the world today, from arts all the way to analytics. All right, that's it for me.